Good morning. I'm Charlotte, and welcome back or welcome to Contorted and Confused. In my first video, we talked about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and what it is, what it means, all of that jazz. And today I wanted to talk about dysautonomia, or what you may have already heard, or more commonly referred to as POTS. Which POTS is a diagnosis of a type of dysautonomia, or like a side effect of dysautonomia. I don't know. That is still a little unclear. So what's dysautonomia? Let's talk about it. Dysautonomia at its base is the dysfunction of your autonomic nervous system. Your autonomic nervous system is in charge of all of the automatic functions happening inside of your body. That is your heart rate, your blood pressure, breathing, digestion, hunger signals, sweating, pee notifications. Like, I have a really bad tendency to not go to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden it's an emergency, which is about the lamest shit ever. But anyways, so that's what your autonomic nervous system controls. Dysautonomia means that it's not controlling your automatic functions correctly. And POTS is the most common diagnosis of it. A whole lot of us have seen that. A whole lot of us have been diagnosed with that. Most of you have probably heard it. I have a diagnosis myself. So let's talk about what POTS is. POTS is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And that means that whenever you stand up, your heart typically has an increase in adults of 30 beats per minute or more, and in children an increase of 40 beats per minute or more. So that sounds really simple, and that doesn't sound very scary at all. Some of the symptoms and side effects that you might experience during a POTS episode is like getting really dizzy, getting really lightheaded, maybe seeing black spots in your vision, stuff like that. Okay, most of us probably have a good idea. And sorry, I just woke up, but I'm trying to figure out how to get in a good groove, because I like hanging out with y'all, I like talking to y'all. I've been trying to make this video for like 2 days now, but autism, perfectionist, OCD, chronic illness, it's not easy out here. So, POTS itself doesn't sound that scary, but here's the thing, is POTS is a diagnosis of your dysfunctioning autonomic nervous system. So while POTS is, yes, that you get dizzy and you might stand up too fast and you might black out, POTS is way more than that. POTS means that none of your automatic functions are happening naturally, organically, as they should. You may forget to breathe or have to think about breathing. You may forget to eat a lot. You may get dizzy or lightheaded. You may have really shitty temperature tolerances. Like, you may always be the coldest or the hottest guy in the room. There are a whole lot of things that come with it, because it means that all of the things that people's bodies control for them naturally are not happening for you and I. And it is a big time bummer. It's not fun. It sucks. It means that sometimes it's 70 degrees and I'm sweating and freaking out because I'm overheating. It means that sometimes whenever it's 80 degrees, I'm freaking out and under 2 blankets with a heating pad. It's not a fun time. It's rough. And a lot of people think of it as just a fainting disease. And it is far more than just a fainting disease. And it is far more than just treated by compression socks, increased salt intake, and increased fluids. Those are the 3 most common methods of intervention, by the way, because typically POTS happens a lot because of low blood volume and stuff. You increase your blood volume and stuff, the fainting part and stuff gets a little bit better, but you still have a dysfunction of your autonomic nervous system, so you still got all this other fun stuff going on. That covers effectively secondary POTS, which secondary POTS occurs with another condition. In this case, it's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and subsequently what I refer to as the second head of a three-headed beast. We will get into the third-headed tomorrow, but that's not today's video. And so we'll get into that part. I'm gonna say tomorrow, whenever I make the next video. I'm trying my best out here, guys. That's secondary POTS. There's also hypovolemic POTS that is entirely because of low blood volume, and increased salt and fluids will help resolve most of the symptoms of it. There is also hyperadrogenic POTS, and I might be mispronouncing that. Pardon me, I've learned everything from reading. And hyperPOTS is what I'm going to say from here on out so that I don't keep tripping over that. HyperPOTS is what I've got, which means that along with your dysautonomic malfunction, you also have too much epinephrine and norepinephrine running up in your body, which makes you feel like you're in constant fight or flight. And I have felt that way every day of my life forever, and it's absolutely terrible. And that, in that case, that's whenever you're adding in medications like alpha antagonists or beta blockers. Some of you might be on midodrine, Corlinor, clonidine, propranolol. A lot of those will control the effects of that too, because if you're like me and you've been anxious your entire life, it's a possibility that it is synthetic anxiety, because mine is, I do not have anxiety as it stands. I have hyperPOTS, which means that my hormones are just imbalanced, and it does feel like anxiety. But because I know that it's not real, because I don't have anything to be anxious about, I am able to at least work through that for the most part. However, much like most of you who are here, I also take a lot of pills, because I am what doctors call a severe case. But anyways, I think we rolled through everything about POTS pretty smoothly. I'm not going to rewatch this back because I don't want to know, because I feel okay with it for once. So thanks for coming, and next time we'll hang out.